Hidden deep beneath the surface of the moon Lethe lies one of the most enigmatic discoveries across the colonies of the Middle Heavens. Some have nicknamed this location Xeno City, a title that does not do justice to the true nature of this majestic biomechanical labyrinth. Grown rather than built, this sprawling subterranean necropolis was once the home of a grand civilization. Fused into its walls are what remains of those long extinct inhabitants, the beings that we call the ancient citizens. Almost nothing definitive is known about the ancient citizens due to the limited time that the crew of the Otago were able to investigate it before its apparent destruction. What remains of their bodies suggests a species that was not merely living within the city, but part of it, a biological extension of the structure itself. Their skeletal forms reveal towering humanoid proportions, elongated mineral-encrusted skulls, 2 large arms, massive pelvic structures with minimal or vestigial legs, a jawless facial region connected to thick biomechanical conduits. Many of these tubes were fused directly onto their torsos and their mouths, implying that the species existed in a constant state of connection, or, if you'd like, captivity, within their own architecture. Despite this, it is implied that the Titanic beings could, if required, remove themselves from their city walls and use a locomotion similar to that of a snake's slither to move about and possibly forge connections with other parts of the city or other technologies. However, this is mere speculation, and it's likely that for most of their lives that they were tragically bonded to their own architecture. The origin and the purpose of the ancient citizens remains entirely speculative. One theory is that the ancient citizens, having seemingly been wiped out, leaving only an array of xenomorph eggs scattered about, had at some point encountered a rival civilization, maybe such as the engineers, or another spacefaring race that used the xenomorphs against them in a bitter, unsympathetic war. After extensive research into the matter, the project has another theory. There has been a long time speculation that the species known as the Engineer did not in fact create the xenomorph creature, nor are they the original creators of the biomechanical technologies that they have at their disposal. Engineered culture seems to appear more romantic in nature compared to their ships and technology that they use. Instead, we postulate that these ancient beings could be the Engineers' original creators, or at least their subjugators. Perhaps they created them out of nostalgia for a time where they were not bound to the cityscape, bestowing the Engineers with technology and knowledge of the universe. This would explain why their technology and their ships appear to have a commonality in their design. The connections are hinted to by the very similar biomechanical nature of their bodies, reminiscent to that of the Engineers' biosuits and the body features of the xenomorph itself, implying that there is some sort of connection. The ancient citizen shares a striking resemblance to the creature nicknamed the Space Jockey, discovered on the moon LV-426. This being looks nearly identical to the ancient citizens, despite having obviously fossilized over hundreds or potentially thousands of years. The similarities cannot be ignored, and potentially the most supporting fact to link these two is the nature of the Space Jockey's fused body to the ship it inhabits, appearing to have been grown into the vessel, just like the citizens of Xeno City are grown into the walls of their home. There are numerous, undeniable connections to the Engineer race as well. We at the project have always promoted this theory of a race that came before the Engineers, one that they likely sought to overthrow, stealing their knowledge and their technology to fuel their own conquest of creation throughout the stars, in the spirit of the Promethean myth of stealing fire from the gods only to give it to man. If you indulge us in this being the truth, then it stands to reason that there is a possibility that these beings are the original creators of the xenomorph species itself, or at least the version of them that we have become familiar with. Possibly having reverse engineered the Engineers from the black pathogen from the facehuggers to use in creating the Engineers and other genetic experiments. What is certain though is that nearly 1,000 years prior to current day, an ancient citizen fell prey to a massive facehugger variant, resulting in the birth of the Titan, a monstrous xenomorph whose emergence likely marked the beginning of the end of the entire species. After the Titan's birth, no further signs of survival from the ancient citizens has ever been found. Nearly 1,000 years after their extinction, Xeno City was rediscovered by miners and later investigated by a researcher named Marlowe, whose fascination with the site bordered on obsession. And I mean, you can kind of understand why. In 2198, a Colonial Marines unit searching for Cassandra Harper entered the ruins. Inside, they found dozens of ancient citizens' skeletons embedded and entombed in the walls, silent witnesses to their civilization's final moments. Their expedition was violently interrupted by the Titan Xenomorph, an ancient offspring of one such citizen. The Titan killed Stern and Martinez before Mako, Cassandra, and Harper escaped. And only minutes later, a nuclear detonation consumed the region, destroying Xeno City and likely erasing the last remnants of this species forever. So what did you guys think about the ancient citizens? Where do you think they came from? What do you think their origins are? How do you think that they connect to the larger alien universe? Please comment on the data log with any theories you have or anything I've missed or anything you would like to see in the future. But for now, this is Project ACHERON signing off.